This is Terry. It is 2014, 3 years since I last recorded my Westgate rant. Um, that was, if you look at my previous one under Westgate, Vacation Villas, Warnings and Solutions, well, since then, over 21 to 22,000 people have seen it. 46 complaints about it. And of that 46, which out of 22,000 is literally only 0.025%, I would wager that it's a good possibility that this 0.25% is probably Westgate Vacation Villa employees. Especially over a period of 3 years, it's possible, like one a month, twice a month, 3 months, whatever. But why I'm back here and why I'm doing an update is simply just to answer certain fun questions, because usually whenever I get someone who complains about it, I mean, if they had a good statement or two, that's one thing. But usually it's like basically, you're false, or you're wrong, or go to hell, you fucker. Something like along those lines. I mean, some of them are extremely mature. But some of them, they did have a couple of answers and questions, which was kind of fun, which I decided to answer. And this is where, for you Westgate people who want to watch this, I want you to figure out how to answer this. For the average person watching this, I want you to listen to this. Let's start at the first part. I want you, anyone going to any of the timeshare events, I want you to ask the following. Ask the first thing. Why aren't you mentioning the 10-day remorse clause in Florida law? There is a 10-day clause where Westgate has to return, or has to cancel the contract if you change your mind within those 10 days after purchase. So if you do buy one of their villas, you have 10 days afterwards from the day you left. Ask them why, throughout their entire sales pitch, why they haven't mentioned it, because they won't. Okay. Second thing, resale value. They're going to pitch part of the whole thing about it's going to have a massive resale value of such and such dollars that you can probably sell it for a profit. You won't get much money. You won't get much at all. I would like you to go take a look. Do a search on Google. Take a look carefully at for sale of timeshares for that particular resort, Westgate resort that you are. Take a look at the prices. You're going to see that recent listings are going to be probably as much as high as in the 20,000 range. So if they can get that price, so be it. But look carefully. There's going to be a lot of older listings. The older listings has dropped down to 2,000. At one point, it was dropped down to 0, where people were willing to give it up, just as long as someone else paid the maintenance fees. You're going to find that no one is buying, except at rock bottom prices. You're not going to make a profit. You're going to lose money. And that's going to be probably pretty much a given. And I just want you to go through Google and confirm for yourself. Don't take my word on it. Take the evidence in front of your eyes. Third thing, a lot of those dissenters are saying, oh, my complaints are like this and that and that and that. I want you to take a careful look at the reviews. I want you to do a Google search under complaints about Westgate resorts. You're going to find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's not a very, very fun affair. I mean, in some cases, there's some really, 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 really nasty stuff here. Let's see, from recent reviews, Westgate timeshare reviews. Okay, we got 3 different people who came to our table and asked us over and over to buy some property we never even saw. I was so disappointed by his behavior and will never tour them again. They got mad and even rude of us for not buying what they had to offer, but couldn't explain why everyone else got a tour and we didn't. From Kiana at pissedconsumer.com. While many Westgate timeshare reviews complain of some interactions with disorganized push salespeople, the majority complained of actions that were taken after the contract was signed. and they claim of time. Many consumers claim that Westgate Resorts is involved with timeshare fraud and make it a regular practice to scam their clients. So here, the shower leaks, the toilet runs all night long, the dishwasher leaks. I called maintenance and even called owner services. No fix and no new room. I repeat, if you're an owner, get everything in writing. When you make a reservation, have them send it to you, so what actually building you'll be in. I can't believe this is really happening. You can go on about once you're an owner, you're treated like shit. While no singular Westgate review tells the entire story of the company, the aggregate score and overall online reputation is staggering. Westgate Resorts had to make major changes in order to negate their building reputation with the consuming public. And so I read all that from the Timeshare Consumer Bureau. But there is, let's see, there's ripoffreport.com, tripadvisor.com. You're going to see a lot of positive reviews, but if you really read carefully, you'll see there's a lot of negative ones too, and the negatives are horrendous. Consumeraffairs.com, and so on. Even in Yelp, there's quite a few really bad ones. And then if you do YouTube under Westgate Resorts, you're going to find a lot of really pissed off people. So let's get into the other questions and answers. So I've told you about the 10-day remorse law. I've told you about the resale value, and I've told you basically other reasons why you should, at least the reasons, and watch my video and the reasons why I believe you should not ever get into a Westgate thing. Here's a couple, and there's another comment about basically saying, if it's legal, why is Westgate still open? That's going to be a fun answer, and I'll explain that in a second. Now let's go, one of the questions I kept getting is, why go to some shitty hotel when you can get a resort? Let's take a look at the resort. You get a kitchenette. You get access to the pools, but you still have to pay for food. You have to pay for internet. You have to, sure, there's some community activities and so on, but that's not too unusual. And they're going about how nice it is to have the shuttle to go between Disney and so on. Take a look at Travelocity. Travelocity is currently advertising the Omni Resort in Kissimmee, 4.5 stars for between $110 to $200 a night. Omni Resort, or the Omni Corp, is regarded to be, and you can check this on the net as well, Omni is a corporation that runs nothing less than 4 to 5 star hotels. Their reputation is impeccable. They have an excellent history, and they always modernize their hotels. Omni, more importantly, runs a resort in Kissimmee, which I told you, $110 to $200 a night. So $200 a night, one full week, I would pay $1,400. I get free internet. I get daily maid service, unlike Westgate, which is once a week. I get that same shuttle to all of the attractions. I get a much more modern hotel building. And I don't have to be locked into any given week. Now let's go to take a look at the Westgate one. Westgate, when I tried to buy, and if you look at my video, my previous video, the reason why I didn't buy from them, the only reason why I didn't buy from them is that they fucked up. They gave me false legal papers 4 times. And when I walked out, they refused to give me back my credit card. So I had to declare that for theft. That's why I recorded the video. Now, Westgate back then, their regular price that they were charging me was roughly about $8,000 for a condo every 2 years. 2-bedroom condo. Weekly service for maid, and paid internet. You have to pay it. So, in that weekly service, so let's see. It's 2014 now. So in that time, I would have gotten maybe about 2 times. I would have gotten 2 weeks of use of it by now. For the privilege of that, 2 weeks of use, which would have been weeks that was designated for me, because if I wanted to move it to another week, I'd have to pay extra if it was even available, and or so on. So let's keep at the base price. $8,000, $700 a month, $700 a year. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. $2,800 plus the $8,000. That's $10,800. $10,800 for a place that a lot of people have been complaining that if you're in the older buildings, you're in a rundown shack. If only in the newer buildings, it's actually worth it. But the newer buildings is usually used basically to impress people who are buying into, who are using Travelocity themselves or something like that, just to have a couple of days to try out for Westgate, so they'll be dazzled to see what it's like. So, if I went to Westgate, I would have paid $10,800 to use it for 2 weeks. If I went to Omni at current rates, I would have paid $2,800 at a time of my choosing, in a nicer building, with free internet and free and daily maid service. $10,800, $2,800, and $8,000 savings. And then Westgate will go about, it makes sense over the years. It doesn't make sense over the years, because unless you're planning on going there like 3-4 times a year. Now, it might make sense if you're planning on going like several times a year and you paid that money for several times a year. But no, you're only paying for that 1 week every 2 weeks. I have no idea what the people are paying for annual or for floating weeks. So with the 700 or so per year maintenance fee that goes on, 10 years from now, I would have paid $7,000 in maintenance fees, and I still, plus the initial $8,000 for the condo, $15,000. If I went to Omni at current rates for 1 full week and paid and 1 full week, and I would say every week for 10 years, while for Westgate every 2 years, because that's what I paid for, I would have paid $14,000, $1,000 cheaper than what Westgate would have charged me. What makes sense now? You tell me. So, is it worthwhile paying an extra $8,000 for a better trip? Extra $8,000 for a worse trip than just going Omni? And that was just checking out Travelocity in about 5 seconds for places in Kissimmee, and I asked for nothing less than a 4-star. Okay. Now the part about maintenance fees. You're paying annually. $700, $600, whatever. First things first is that over the years I've noticed that Westgate has raised their prices and maintenance fees for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. Most people tend to pay $600-$700 on maintenance, like per month, if this was a high-end condo that you were living in day after day. So you're paying about $600-$700 a year. So, they break it down to about $70-$80 a year for a place they're using every 2 weeks. So I would be paying about $1,400 for the maintenance fee for the 1 week every 2 years. If your condo fees were $1,400 for the month, and for a month for basically a small apartment, wouldn't you be pretty outraged? Also, you're only there, that's $1,400. If you're paying $1,400 a month for use it, and you're going to use it for 1 week, so actually, you're not paying $1,400. In that 2 years, you paid $1,400 total. In terms of actual use, it's, it's like, it's in actual use, it's like paying like 4,200 or so just for that lousy week, in just an aggregate basically. So, well, not even 1,400, like 20,000, 5,600 for 1 week. Yeah. So they're charging you at a rate of roughly $5,600 a month if you take all the payments together and so on and all that, for that use of just 1 week out of 2. Why waste money on a flea pit that you're not going to use? Honestly, really? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have something better to do with that $700 per year than pay someone else to maintain a property that you never see more than 1 week every year or 2 years. Okay? Okay, so as for anything else, like, I was there to complain, it's like, why am I trying to spread untruths? Why aren't you properly defending yourselves? If you're a Westgate owner or Westgate saying, well, you may enjoy the place and so on, but honestly, it only takes one Google search. Complaints about Westgate, you will find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You'll also find a couple of really lunatic people, who are really pissed. There's this one French woman, but overall, but then she was pissed for a good reason, because she was ripped off. And so were a lot of other people. And I only lucked out because Westgate tried to rip me off. And the only reason why I even recorded the video is that if you didn't try, and no one in Westgate has even begun to answer, even after I made a complaint, even after I demanded my credit card back, no one in Westgate even tried to reply back to me. So if my video helps someone else, great to hear. So for anyone else I can help, please feel free to comment, whatever. For anyone in Westgate, nice try, guys, but there's nothing really. You guys literally tried 4 different contracts, and you kept my credit card. Until you can explain why you did that, I have no reason to trust any of you. That's it. Bye.